first time buyer, it's been a while since you bought a house, this video is going to talk about all the things that we're going to go through when we buy your next house together. Now, before we get started, understand that this is part of a buyer's course. This video right now is actually part of just a series of videos that we're doing, but I actually have a buyer's course that you can sign up for down there. It's Home Buyer's Course. You'll see it. Just go click on it and make sure you register because it's free and it gives you a lot of great information about the entire process of what we're going to go through when we buy your next house. So the first thing you want to talk about is financials. We can go to open houses, we can go look at houses, we can go look at, I can schedule a whole day of going and looking at houses, but what happens if we find that house that you want to buy? We can't write an offer. We can, but you're not going to get an offer accepted if you don't have your loan approval set up. You don't know how much the house is going to cost you to close. You don't know how much down payment. You don't know what your PITI is going to be. PITI is principal, interest, tax, and insurance. That's your monthly mortgage payment and everything else that goes with it. You need to know all that before you go into it, because what happens if you fall in love with a $3 million house and you can only afford $1.5 million? So financials are really important. Let's get you in touch with our lenders. You can go to your bank, you can go to Quicken or somebody else that's online, but they don't understand our market here. They don't have a relationship with the other agents. When we work with a broker who's been around for 10 years, they know a lot of agents. They know a lot of people. They know the personalities and how to work with it. They actually help us sell your offer to the listing agent to make sure that we understand it's going to be as smooth as possible, especially from the lender side. Because if you go to a big bank or you go to an online bank, you're going to get tossed around from the originator to the process controller to this person to final to all this other stuff. You're going to talk to 7 or 8 different people. The listing agent doesn't want to hear that. They don't want to know that. They just want to know, is my loan closing on time? Is this house going to close on time? So I can make sure that my seller knows everything's still smooth. All right. So get your financials done. This is number 2 in a series for home buying. Today we're talking about budget and location. Location, you want to stay away from rough areas. You want to look for areas, even if you don't have kids or you never want to have kids, you want to find areas with good schools. For resale, if you're in an area that has 2s and 3s consistently on the school, greatschools.org or whatever it's called, then you know it's going to be very hard to resell that house. Or it might not be hard to sell it, but you're not going to see a massive spike of a net increase of equity come to that house versus the school next door or the neighborhood next door. So remember location. So if you're looking and you're looking at a house and looking at specific neighborhoods, there'll be a house somewhere in an area that you can afford that's decent. It might be further away from where you live or from where you work, but that's okay. It's just part of life, right? Number 3, remember that the listing agent is hired by the seller. Now in California, as with a lot of different states, you're allowed to double end or represent the buyer and the seller at the same time. And I hate doing that. It's really hard because there's always going to be a conflict of interest. And there's always going to be this thing where I'm representing the seller, I'm bringing in the buyer's contract. And they're like, is this the best deal that you can get? Can I really trust you now? There's always going to be a little seed of doubt. And that's why I don't like it, because to me, I feel like I owe a fiduciary and an honorable duty to my seller, not necessarily that buyer. So just be very careful about all. There's a link down there. It says Home Buyer's Course. It's free. It takes you really like an hour and a half, 2 hours to run through it. You can go through stuff you already know. And if you have any questions, please give me a call. I'm Vito with the Abitano Group, powered by Compass. We'll see you out there.